Well, last we left off, we had a series of events. You traveled to the Undersun, met Grinnell the Giant, learned of the quote-unquote king and queen that rule the capital city, or very well, most of the Underdark. You have now found this young drow male. Whatever. You found this young drow man who is seemingly extremely easy to manipulate using magic. Perhaps someone who was even more easy to manipulate, such as Cyrus, who apparently has some sort of connection to this boy. You're using him to figure out what you need to do next. You've met celebrities that got you up here. Argus is apparently famous amongst the giants. And
awesome. I'd expect no less.
And it would seem
he might be giant.
Whether you can trust them or not is up to your insight checks.
So we've captured the one guard.
Cairo the guard.
Yes. He's still a little buzzy from having been KO'd and hypnotized and charmed and all that.
It seems as though any type of magic that can manipulate his mind will stay relatively permanent until used again.
Somebody's really scrambled this boy's noodle. I mean, he is just a mess. That should have worn off a bit ago, right? He's still all dingy.
Guess that turned against Cyrus, because now we're just going to use his... he made a good minion, but now he's going to make a good informant, it appears.
Be right back.
Sorry.
You know, if we're able to figure that out, wouldn't Cyrus have been able to figure that out? I mean, he does seem to specialize in this kind of thing.
Maybe he just was hoping he would be a bit more discreet than he turned out to be.
I mean, this could be very well a Sicilian problem, where Cyrus thought what we thought, what he thought.
Inconceivable.
Well, what about what I thought?
Oh, honey. You just... Hush now.
Your thoughts are valid.
Hey, so, I mean, pretty big news, though. According to the Tree Father, Cyrus does, in fact, intend to fight off this hunger. The hunger is a dangerous, evil force, and Cyrus's intentions are to fight it. So we're sort of getting back into maybe providing this armor, potentially, to address a threat we're not aware of.
At this point, Grammel has arranged for one of the mechanical beholders to station you to your location of interest, the capital manor of Sunforge City.
Okay. So we just got taken to the manor.
You'll be taken there shortly.
Okay.
We got the car right down.
Want to do here, you may.
What manor are we being taken to?
You guys thought it would be a good idea to get in a talk with some higher-ups, and Bramble has said that you will make a performance with Garrett and Allie, who are known to be the leaders of this area.
Okay.
The de facto royalty, I guess, huh?
Yes, Garrett and Allie Thrice-Killer.
Thrice which now?
Thrice-Killer.
Oh, they killed something 3 times. That's a...
Or their ancestor did.
True.
Every 100 years, they have to defeat something, and they're on their 4th run of it.
Change the name every century or so.
That was the case. 500 years is close enough. But yeah, you may all approach the council. Gravel just kind of frowns at Cairo. Can't make him help these days.
So the
Yeah. The Phoenix will be
economy
enough.
profile.
the Phoenix will be enough for the validation to get you into the manor. And the Phoenix
Right.
lands on your
Yeah, the
arm
thing
like
that
a
Jasper
perch.
wants to add to his
Jasper.
collection.
That's
Don't go
Jasper's face
losing
looking
that.
at just.
Don't go losing that. They're very rare.
I mean, I won't lose him. If he just stays with
But
me
you might lose him.
forever, that could work. I'll keep a very close eye on him.
We'll see.
Is he prone to?
Word of
fly
warning:
off
if it
the
bursts
building?
into flames,
He's
it
just
doesn't
gonna
mean
get
it's dead.
burned.
If it bursts into flame, what now?
It doesn't mean it's dead.
Okay. Oh, good to know. Good to know. I'm just going to do a quick Arcana check for my own. Oh, well, not bad. So it's just pretty much standard Phoenix stuff then, just...
Standard Phoenix, rebirth, dies, reborn, has
Okay.
tears that give healing properties. I'm not
I
sure if
will,
that's just a Harry Potter thing, but I'm making it a thing now.
Stood. Now
Also
let's
good
beat
to
it up
know.
and make it cry and call it names.
I don't think that'll do that. Just make it angry. We need to find some sad poetry. Yeah, we could have Dacron talk about his past. That'll get the bird to cry.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, would you talk about your past for you?
What?
Well, some.
What about pie?
I had some sweet pie that I dropped in the dirt.
I mentioned a surprise for you guy, and for some reason, Argus is now talking about pie.
Is there a sad story about your pie?
There's no pie here anywhere.
Argus, if you want to get it to cry,
We'll say sad.
yeah, Argus, just give it a whiff of your socks. I think that'll do it.
I mean, the feeling's mutual.
Right.
All right,
Yeah, so with the bird and this red bag, the bird's our ticket in to the place, and then the ride, we're getting right now to that manor. The manor is where?
Within the city, it is further north.
I know a surefire
Well,
way
no, I'm
to
trying to remember his name.
have noses, but I don't know about birds.
Just losing maybe trying to remember.
It's in my notes. But I can't read them from this far away. Okay, let's see. No, that's the peeling one, the high tower, Biffle, Biffville, the high tower is where we're going, that we were told about.
That's Christopher City.
Yeah, no, that's where we're eventually going to go, is what I was saying.
Yeah.
The hunger, blah blah blah.
Are you looking for the giant's name?
No, I have the giant's name. I'm trying to remember what the. Okay, it's Allie and
Allie and Garrett.
Garrett. Yeah. They were much higher up than I expected.
It's not Prince Alley, is it?
It's Allie.
Princess Allie.
It's
Slight
no,
difference.
they are they're like a king and queen in a sense, but they don't use those titles. Something like that.
So we're going to go meet Garrett and Allie in this manor, huh? Is that my understanding?
That is
Correct.
All right. That's all I wanted to know. So, I mean, I'm unfamiliar with their customs down here. I don't know if we're supposed to like bow or front
Bet
at
the person-
them or what.
The person
General
introducing us will probably, take the cues from the people around us, sort of thing.
As you all board the mechanical beholder, you find that it's not being piloted by a person, but rather a strange mechanism of clockwork gears with humanoid-like appearance.
Oh, cool.
And it starts piloting you towards the manor.
Sweet.
Its head turns around
Yeah.
backwards to face us and goes, "Welcome to Star Tours."
Oh gosh.
No,
I'm gonna
it doesn't
nudge
say-
Net.
It doesn't
I'm
seem
gonna
to say anything.
nudge
For all it cares, you can
Jasper.
jump off.
I'm like, I'm surprised that you're doing as fine as you are down here. It almost seems like your tree father has no presence down here.
Well, I mean, certainly not much in the way of big trees, but, you know, that doesn't, like, necessarily restrict a god's power. I suppose, I mean, let's see if I don't know. I don't know what could restrict a god's power, but an 18 religion check, maybe I know something. We can decide what can govern a god's power.
Abjuration magic can hinder a god's ability to attack you or to connect to you, but it's more like your ability to connect to them.
Right. Yeah. So I think it would have to be something really working hard to cut me off, so to speak. But, you know, gods are pretty powerful. This is all nature, you know, or a lot of it's nature. A lot of it's not, obviously.
Oh, rocks are considered nature to the tree father, but also to Yord.
Yeah. I imagine there's some crossover. That's why they get along, right?
I don't know.
Some balances, maybe, yeah.
You wouldn't want to do all that heavy lifting on your own, right?
I mean, that was a goal.
Assuming you took Kyra with you.
Is that the guy, the guard? Yeah, the guard. Oh, he's insane. Yeah, we took him along.
Okay, he's just kind of sitting there in a passenger seat, his hands bound.
Yeah. We gotta figure out what to do with this little fella.
Well, we could always kill him, but, I think we need him alive for our purposes at the moment.
He's more useful
I mean,
alive than dead, I think.
And it sounds like he might be sort of a good guy, you know, in kind of a bigger pictures thing. If it...
A misguided guy?
No.
Yeah, I mean...
He's our misguided guide.
Misguided.
Guide, right. Not a guard.
He's a misguided guide guy. Like a legless Lego Legolas.
Yeah. Does anyone think that we might be contacting Cyrus now and sort of reevaluating, you know, the terms of understanding between us? Or...
No, I feel no need for that. Our terms, as far as he's aware, is continuing the same way. We have more things to bring to the table later, so
You want to save it
no
for like
point in...
a surprise sort of thing?
Yeah, until we find out more, I'd rather not reveal anything that we get our hands on.
I'm just worried that he's going to find out that we've captured his buddy here and be all fussy about
That's
it.
why
you
we
know?
kill him. Through natural causes.
Well, that might make things worse. I mean, if he realizes, you know, if he hears that we left town with the kid and then he finds him dead, he's like, oh, great, now that's personal or whatever. Now it's war as opposed to like, you know, I thought, you know, had a deal kind of thing.
Yeah, he might just be like...
I kind of want
or something.
to. I kind of want to just, you know, meet with him again and just say something like, "Look, why didn't you tell us that this was your motive? Like, we would have, you know, we were on the same side, I guess. We both want big evil things to die, so let's change our deal a little to get Eleanor back now, and then there's no need for leverage or, you know, her getting hurt in the meantime, and we can just all work together right now, and Eleanor can be safe." You know, if we're doing something out of a quest for helping people as opposed to quest for not getting someone killed, I feel like that makes us more motivated as, you know, part of the same sort of team, I guess.
Now arriving to Thrice-Killer Manor.
Thank you, Bachi.
You are welcome.
But it's a good thing there's four of us.
Why is that? Because there's, instead of just, if it was Quatrice Killer Manor, then we'd be in trouble.
Eventually,
One of us will live to tell the tale, and sadly it will probably be Hargus, and then the tale will be very different than the reality.
as you land, it seems to have a simple metal, like a swirly metal gate surrounding the manor. It's a series of towers, and then just exactly. They only left him alive to tell the tale.
Not to imagine it.
Large, big houses with large stained glass windows, and at the front, just a moderately sized door. Probably like a large creature could fit through it.
Okay.
As you're landing, however, in the courtyard, amongst not flowers and more like rock garden, as very many depictions of well-chiseled stone and masonry are laid about. You see that there is an odd depiction of some sort of, perhaps, deity, as a muscular-looking, very relatively featureless, muscular man with, like, sharp, spiky beard and stash to match, although nothing but the furrow of the brow to match the face. You see that there's this arc of lightning surrounding him.
I'm joking.
Yeah. You see that there's arcs of lightning surrounding him, much like a tail, and sitting cross-legged on top, he seems to be resting on a cloud.
Oh.
Woo.
Interesting.
Is there no plaque?
I mean, once you get there, of course, just have to get right past the gates.
So it's on the other side of the gates.
Yes, you have now landed at the foot of the entrance, and are now walking up to what appears to be 4 separate guards. 2 of them holding those similar scythes with the red blades, and 2 of them holding those firearms.
Just so we're all on the same page here, is our current plan? What are we telling these folk? Are we telling them there's a danger to the world that requires reassembling the armor? Or are we telling them someone's plotting to put it together?
Maybe we should get their take on what the armor is, and then sort of build off of that, and say, that's the importance of the armor. What if this were to happen? Is there some sort of, clause or prophecy as to what would happen if they were all brought back together, or is that going to happen at some point? I don't know.
Did we get a sense of whether the giant was going to tell these people everything? Because he was in on some of that conversation.
He said you to speak with them. He did not say what you did.
So, I guess we could just ask questions and see where it goes from there.
Sounds like an idea. What questions do you guys want to ask? Just what do they know about the servant?
Can we have it?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, like who does it belong to? Is it?
Yeah. Is it the only one of its kind?
What are its origins? It feels like people are a little iffy on that, but I'd really like to know if it's some sort of godlike creation or a creation of something from...
It's at this point you have now approached the guards. State your business or state your phoenix.
Phoenix.
State your business or state your phoenix.
I have one.
Alright, Phoenix.
One of the guards that I think was kind of surprised to see the phoenix.
That's cool, right? It's really cool.
If you try to cook a phoenix, does it just come back alive?
They're immune to fire.
I was gonna say, I imagine they'd be immune to fire.
Yeah, but after you've killed it and you try to cook it,
Would you be full longer?
That just hatches the new phoenix sooner.
The doors open, and it seems less so that it's like a gate, and more so that like a series of twisting and turning metal kind of unravels like ribbons to allow you through.
I can't imagine your relationship lasting after you eat the phoenix.
As you're having your discussion on Phoenix Flambe, the gates will wrap up behind you, and if you come
That was
closer
cool.
to this strange plaque, a strange statue, you will find a plaque.
Just up
And
front.
listed below it, listed below on is stated the Cloud Father.
The Cloud Father.
Cloud Father, huh?
I don't know that I've heard of that fellow before.
Now that's odd, because I can't imagine clouds being down here at all.
That's why they worship him.
It does not seem like the place where his followers would congregate. Yeah, you'd think they'd be, geared more towards mountain peaks as opposed to underneath mountains. But hey, case all kinds. Yeah, maybe like you say, it's something they wish they could see as opposed to something they get to see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe the
Father.
overworld.
Maybe it's just a title.
Maybe the overworld
Maybe
to
it's just a
them
title.
is almost like the
And I
heavens.
assume the guards
to
are
us.
leading us on to.
Yes, the guards are leading.
What was that, Declan? Maybe the overworld is like
It's
what?
like the heavens to us, like out of our reach,
Oh.
mysterious. I don't know.
There seems to be some truth to that.
Or maybe it's just a title and not a deity, right?
Guess we'll find
I
out.
don't know. This is like nothing I would have imagined in the Underdark. I was
Right.
expecting a bunch of, linked together caves and maybe some converted natural
Right, yeah.
caverns and whatnot.
Maybe
This
Hey,
is
said-
quite impressive.
this is kind of impressive.
I said.
Yeah. All right.
But,
Well,
yeah.
I guess we'll check what's next. Then I guess we'll just enter inside. The Phoenix has got us in, but we'll see what awaits us.
Yeah.
The front doors open as if like a ripple of water, kind of like just peeling away, as if made of tiny, tiny, tiny stones. Which kind of like Iron Man's nanotech suit. Just
Sweet.
coming out an open doorway, and you are led inside as it reforms around you, behind you. And as you enter, the first thing you notice is that a series of hallways, right and left, with many, many doors going down each side. Although there's a main staircase heading upwards into a larger portion of the area. As you're brought inside, you see the checkered floors, not quite checkered, more like just very ornate patterned, very marble floors.
Mosaic.
Everything's very polished. And as you enter, you see sitting at a chair that seems to just been slapped there, like, not slapped, it's just put there. It's just like some wooden chair. Is this hunched over hyena-like humanoid. Just which I would imagine Dacron would recognize as a knoll.
Were there gnolls in that war camp last
Were there?
arc, Dustin?
Not that
mean,
I
those are known
listed.
for their inability
Well,
to
it was
be
your
conflict,
adventure, so
negotiating
you would-
with. Not even those fierce of
Yeah, not that I listed of, but maybe I let that slip at one point. But
No,
not
I
that I
don't.
can remember.
I don't
of.
think so. Oh, that probably wasn't.
You consider
too
like
long.
January news, I think.
I don't think we've encountered gnolls at all. I don't even remember if there was any gnolls mentioned in the Hobgoblin War.
I can make a history
Yeah, they don't know
check
what
if you
history
want
is,
me
so.
to.
Make a history
Because my
check or
history
nature check,
proficiency is limited to like war history, and so I think this would be
Okay, let's
perfect
go
time
nature
for
check
it
then.
to see if I've heard of them.
They've been
Yeah,
involved in
22.
any major conflict.
22.
Yeah, you've heard vaguely of gnolls. It's just they're not associated with any other race except for their hostility towards everything. Just very vicious, like savage creatures that are known for hunting relentlessly and pairing up with actual hyenas. Some sort of curse of hyenas. However, this one, although very rough and probably disorderly looking. Doesn't appear to be trying to chew your heads off. In fact, he has some sort of a cape and suit on, just kind of hunched there, as if the clothes don't fit him quite right. Tears in the sleeves and such. He has a cane in his right hand, a very twisted piece of wood, and he looks up to you just with this one silver eye.
I conjure my sword behind my back just in case.
The guards stay
Stab him immediately.
The guards actually station themselves at the door, and this kid just, hello. He slowly gets up like an old man.
Okay.
Slow.
Awfully articulate for an old
Bends
man.
behind his back. You notice one arm kind of bends behind his back. That seems as though it's twisted and almost not mutated, but just dysfunctional, as if given some sort
The
of
idea of Hargus
defect or
being
horrible
extremely
disease.
racist.
And he looks at all of you just,
Hey, I'm an equal opportunity murderer.
I murder everything equally. I think that's Brand's phrasing.
Oh. Sorry, I knew I heard it somewhere.
he kinda
That's
takes
my brand.
He takes out a
You
white
hear a
cloth.
good line
Actually,
to go with it.
actually, now that I think about it, he takes out a stained cloth. It seems to be stained red. He kind of coughs into it. It seems to grow an even deeper crimson red.
Oh
And he
my!
puts it back in his pockets.
Oh, you want to save that for later.
You're here to see the higher-ups. I take it.
Right. That is true.
I am their
You've got to be the
representative.
oldest knoll I've ever seen.
You've
It's
seen
the only
other
one I've
gnolls.
seen.
Do we have to get an appointment, or...
You got in with Phoenix, right?
That's one here.
That means
believe
Bramble
so.
sent you. Bramble
Yes.
sent you, and your outsiders must be important.
You've seen it.
I would imagine.
You've seen a know that you're lucky to be alive.
They're not all as friendly as you?
This is the most conversation I've ever had with a knoll. I wasn't totally convinced they could talk.
Me neither.
Most can't.
I knew that they had a sense of laughter. I'm shocking. Brand doesn't know that. He doesn't know anything about gnolls.
He does actually have
Know
this
about
kind
knolls and what they have in their cauldron. That's
he
enough
does have
for
this
us.
kind of wispy
Keeping
laugh
it
when
civil.
he's talking to you. But then again, he coughs into his hand, and the blood kind of stains his fur, and he wipes on his cape. Follow.
Yeah, are you all right with that? Is that ongoing sort of
Nothing
thing?
that can be healed.
Okay.
Except of the organs.
Argus drifts to the back of the party to distance himself from the knoll.
All right. I'm sorry about that.
He's afraid
It's
his
not
face will come out.
Hmm. All right.
Turns around and can see he's moving.
Okay.
Does he say
Um,
walk this way? And then
resist-
we all.
They just follow.
I
And he
am
starts going up the stairs.
very much tempted to stab this thing, but that's me.
What else is
Hold
new?
off for a minute.
That's why I moved out of reach.
I'm actually
mosey along.
gonna lean over to Bran and just be like, my blade arm is getting really itchy. I keep seeing these races that I have heard my whole life are, kill on sight, and then they grin at me and say welcome, and it's
Twitch and perk at you and whispers.
I don't know how long I can stand this.
If what fight, I fight later.
I just
Well,
keep
sounds like he's ready and pining for one, so maybe you'll get your wish.
expecting
Don't
honestly
worry,
to
you never
wake
get
up
us by- you
and
never hear us,
this
you
will
never
be a
catch us
weird
by
dream.
surprise with those popping bones of his.
So we're just following them up a stairway, right?
You're following him up a short stairway before headed towards a circular disc in the ground. As you all step onto it, it begins rising as the ceiling opens.
Okay.
He looks at all of you as he's kind of like looking at a wiggly tooth. And now that you look at the tooth, it's not in there properly. In fact, it looks like it's through his gum, as if something else had bit him.
All right.
Yes.
You're doing okay there, Jasper.
Let's
That's a
Is there a-
different way of taking a bite out of life. So are your masters at home?
Yes, I'm taking you to them.
They're just up here on the second floor, huh?
No, we're passing multiple floors.
Oh. So we're going up fairly high.
You're going to 4th floor.
Okay.
Heard good things on 4th.
What are
Did
all
the,
these?
did the building only look 4 stories tall, or was it
It
bigger?
only looked 2 stories tall.
Okay, so it's bigger on the inside.
Love it. Love a good.
Are we
big on the
passing like building, like doors?
As you're going up, you do pass other floors, but keep going. As you're passing these floors, it seems to be just very large, long hallways. It seems longer than possible on the outside. In fact, you see like even environments on the inside with what look like trees and some sort of sunlight coming down, as if some sort of actual manifestation of the outside world is in there in a room.
Huh.
I
The
pinch
light
myself.
Kind of, like, over his eyes, and he doesn't even react. Like, his eyes don't change whatsoever.
Huh.
Those squints don't brighten nothing.
I pinch myself to see if I am dreaming and accidentally got stuck in one of those dreams that I've been casting lately.
You pinch yourself, and you seem to be awake.
Doesn't work if you do it yourself, you know.
Jasper, pinch me.
It's just kind
I
of
will
punching
pinch
the
you,
legs.
sir.
So, you guys have Pyro with you right now, I'm guessing?
What?
Pyro was the Phoenix's name?
No, he's the insane.
Oh.
Pyro.
Yeah.
Pyro. I thought you said pyro. I apologize.
Oh,
Pyro.
we were bringing him with us.
Yeah, you guys are.
Yeah.
I imagine you just didn't bring him this far.
We haven't really had a place to put him
The
yet.
Phoenix, they don't really question why you have a guy in ropes.
Right.
And
We're on
this
Phoenix
Noel
business.
kind of looks at him. Just, yours?
For the moment.
He just likes it that way.
Let me know when you're done with him.
Don't you, Cairo? You just love your robes.
Is that what these are?
Yes.
Boy.
They're your favorite.
Oh, okay. And eventually,
The boy Scrabble. Might as well make him enjoy his predicament.
and you find yourselves in a circular room with bookshelves to match along the walls. And between all the bookshelves, there's a series of different desks with either strange devices or simply potion-making gear or papers just strewn about.
Okay.
And standing at one table is a male drow in what appears to be a large red robe with like golden spheres acting as the collar. Depictions of flaming magic imprinted on the cape. And next to him is a very pretty sharp haircut, short-haired, very mean-looking drow woman, and she seems to be wearing this strange armor. It's almost glossy and glass-like in its texture, very black and dark. And they are both talking to what looks to be a Duergar, who's just kind of gruffly talking to them as if they don't understand what they're doing. Eventually, he walks past the two of them towards the elevator.
Is it lacquered armor?
I'm not sure. The two drow just kind of watch him go. And he gets on as you all get off, and he slowly descends.
Alright.
He seems to just be very grimy, dirty miner of sorts, but he seems to have like a very, very large, very sharp-looking pickaxe, as if it's some sort of custom made. And he begins descending, or just kind of eyeing you all as he goes.
And a guess what race is it?
Dugar.
Dugar, okay.
I'm going to
Another
turn
one of my
my
favorite races.
I'm going to turn my Eldritch sight on and start detecting magic.
This place is filled to the brim with different enchantments and magic.
Turn it off! Turn it off!
It seems to be minor in many places, and then somewhat somewhat more powerful in certain areas.
Went into a tiny lab with night vision goggles. How dare you?
As these two drow looking at it, Eva said that Grammel sent you? Says, we can only assume to be Garrett. And
There's two, though?
Yes, there is a woman who you assume to be Allie, and a man who you assume to be Garrett. Garrett, he doesn't walk towards you so much as he slides.
Ooh. He's got slippy shoes.
And he comes closer.
Yeah. Well, sort of.
Says you had urgent business with us. Duka, are these the ones? Yes. Thank you. You may reside to whatever studies you please. I hate reading. He just turns around, starts walking towards the book, and just kind of flips it open angrily.
Is it a picture book?
It doesn't appear to be a picture book. In fact, it appears to be empty, and he's just starting to write in it. Very aggressive penmanship.
Okay.
Do we know this?
He's been set lines. He must have gotten in trouble.
Yes.
He's been set
Don't
line.
mind Duker. He is a gnoll that is serving his time under our service.
See? I told you. He's been set right in lines as punishment. I used to get lines all of the time when I was in school. It was just...
Seems like an expensive way to be punished.
The gnomes would have it as a magical slate, so when you got to the bottom of it, it would just erase, and then you'd just get back to the top and start going again. I promise
All
not
of your
to bring
work was
pets.
just never worthwhile.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're writing, I promise not to bring my pets into class, 100 times. It's not really meant to be productive. Yeah.
I see.
May I have your names? Says apparently Allie.
That explains a few things.
Never!
Walks-
I'm using mine!
Yes.
It's my name!
My-
Walks over, and Yarmar is practically silent as she moves.
My name is Vandabar.
That's
Yes,
Vanderbilt.
These are my companions Wunderbar, Dundabar, and Hannibal.
Wonderkin. It's Argus.
So none of
Argus.
you are Brandberg, as Grandel has reported.
I just look over at Brian.
I never told Granel my name, did I?
Oh, you did.
No, not that I can recall of.
My bad.
Did any of us introduce ourselves?
I don't think we did.
We've been incredibly rude ever since we entered the city, actually.
My bad. I thought you introduced yourselves. I see.
Maybe they just have
That's
our
our group.
descriptions?
Yeah, our group
They heard
name,
your
obviously.
description,
Oh yeah,
so I
we
would
did
say
say
they
our
don't
group
have
name.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
they probably know
So-
us by the Firebrands.
So you're the Firebrand?
Yeah, we're
Yes.
trying for branding.
Yes.
Somewhat famous in the overworld.
Thank you.
You know of us from the overworld. Do you have contacts up there?
We do.
Interesting. Noted.
However, we do not associate with them anymore.
I see. Particular reason why you seem, a lot of the citizens here seem to like the overworld and have expressed interest in replicating it and almost homage to it.
The people we sent were more traditional in the sense of the Underdark from long ago. It was a mistake.
I'm not quite following. Could you expound? So you have contacts up there.
The count you encountered is made up of many drow, dugar, and what have you, that worshipped the ways of old, before the time of the servant. The thing you fear so much in us.
So sort of the new order is the friendly to the top side sort of thing?
Consider it a friendly acquaintance below. But once upon a time, indeed, we were slavers, killers, torturers of all sorts. We have since changed, since the servant has given us a world in which we can follow her.
Okay.
Ari just looks at all of you kind of suspiciously.
Noted. So, out of sheer curiosity, this servant, is it the only one of its kind?
There are no more mighty servants, no. It exists as it is, in multiple pieces, and we intend to keep it that way.
But you worship it, don't you? So why would you keep it separated instead of back together?
To put it back together would mean that one city would hold it. The only reason the people down here have peace is because each city is promised a piece of the armor.
But then all of you worship the servant, so if it was... I mean, it seems like it was a sentient thing, you wouldn't own it, correct?
We have no idea what its true origins or nature was like. There are many assumptions of the servant. You'll find that the friendlier and more positive affirmations of the servant are found in Sunforge.
And you don't want it put back together because you're afraid it would explode again?
That's another reason, yes. To put it back together in the forge is a risky endeavor. If done incorrectly, it could cause the forge to collapse.
Right.
Oh.
So you're not entirely convinced that the servant was a benevolent being, then?
We are uncertain of why it came and made this place. And we do not give it definition, because as soon as we do, we create war amongst the religion down here. People are left to their speculations.
And just ask the Cloudfather, I would think, if you guys worship him.
The Cloudfather, indeed. We've had little contact with them as of late. He's grown distant ever since the rising of worship in the Tree Father.
Wait, what? People worship the
So-
Tree Father down here.
Would you say that the Tree Father is disliked by followers of the Cloud Father?
No. Well, some cases, yes. Some people see the Tree Father as a rival. However, the Tree Father has done nothing to steal people of the Cloud Father. It's simply a change of faith.
Yeah. Tree Father's very much a live and let live kind of fella. You know. Sure.
Pray tell, Jasper, how familiar are you with that?
Well, I mean, there's an occasional outlier, but, we correct those when we encounter them.
Thinking back to a certain camp.
Yeah. Sometimes the correction is, stern.
It's a chainsaw in multiple pieces.
I didn't set him to writing lines, put it that way.
So,
Interesting. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear. Do you follow the Cloud Father yourself?
we do. It is a dying religion, a dying faith.
That's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. Tree Father's really cool, though, so I can't blame people.
Does that mean you've been to the surface before yourselves?
Yes, the two of us have been to the surface before. Once.
Was that a while ago?
Indeed. I'd say some 100 years.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Noted.
So, before the kingdoms above were settled, a lot has changed.
Yes.
Well, at
since
least
then.
before the human one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and before the dwarf kingdom was reacquired, so I don't know. But yeah, things are a lot different up there now, I'd say. But
We saw the makings of what your world was going to be, and we decided to remain as we were.
Let's see. So back to this servant. Each place maintains a piece, but I mean, you're not all friendly with each other, even though they all have pieces.
Very true. There's the Way of Fossil Camp, that is mostly traditional in their sense of what the Underdark should represent. There's the Pores, for the savages, and the Link, aborigines, and other such horrific creatures.
Okay.
Oggletown is full of crazed leprechauns.
Aha. What's a leprechaun?
Creatures that eat gold.
Really?
They eat gold.
That's
That
weird.
must be.
Large
That's an
sickles, very muscular, small but your sized.
Oh, I think we did.
Wear red
Oh,
caps that's stained in blood.
we saw a few of them around. That's right. That's right. Keep your distance. It looks like would be best for them.
Those be some expensive lucky charm.
so
That's
I
for sure.
understand that.
That's for sure.
the pieces of the
Also
servant
expensive.
are divided equally, but it doesn't sound like all of the cities around Sunforge City deserve them. Is that fair to say? Like, it sounds like one is in the hand of some savages. Would you
would not
rather
want to say
have...
that they are undeserving?
Yes. Would you
That
rather...
is how I would put it.
Would you rather have
I wouldn't
the
say it,
pieces
but I would think.
secured from these undeserving folks?
Right.
To take those pieces back with our military would to be a declaration of war.
Right, sure. Yeah.
The only way we could do so is that if some outer force had taken it for some other purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I could very much believe. Well, we have reason to believe that there are individuals after that pieces, and they're looking to reforge it. That seems like
Kyra's
on us
standing
public
just like...
service.
Yeah, Kyra's
So
standing
we
just
came
like...
down
Yeah,
here to-
Cyrus wants it.
Wait, what? They know about Cyrus.
But Kyra's like, yeah, Cyrus wants it.
Oh, he said that. Oh, that's... I said shush.
Who are these names just to?
Our prisoner just said Cyrus wants it.
Yeah.
That was off the scale.
Yeah, he just woke up.
But,
That's just Duke and trying to write in the book right
Yeah. Yeah, he's just is really upset about it. Let me grab him here.
yeah, no problem.
Yes, have you heard of
let's
a
see.
individual named Cyrus before?
now. We've heard of them vaguely. Some sort of anonymous business contact.
Yes.
Supposedly, if the overworld do trade with the Underdark, very simple things. Typically, rum or certain materials that are hard to come across.
Interesting. Well, besides the fact that somebody is looking for it, we've been more or less interested in these the servant, and had originally came down with something along the intent of get it before they get it, so that they can't use it to harm us. But seeing as it seems there is a society down here that is somewhat amicable, we'd hate to disrupt your ecosystem, to put it in a better way. But at the same time, if we do not, they will. So.
And the people of Amara above have sent you.
Nothing so formal, no.
This is of your group's own volition.
There's a personal matter within this.
I think you cut it off.
Reason.
I didn't.
He
must have.
Our dealings with him have a personal issue.
Just a bit. So, there's vested interest here of various different nations that made us want to investigate it. Which is why we're on the table for you could say, rather than just going about it the way that we initially thought.
I got about half of that.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Am I?
Hi.
Why?
Hi, beautiful baby.
Long story short, we're here to discuss methods that maybe we can either prevent or assist with this, since even if we do not become involved, it will have soon problems and ramifications with the servant. So, up to you if you'd like to assist or guide our efforts so that it is more beneficial to you and your people.
I see. There are many things we wish to discuss before making a final decision. We've heard what you've done, Firebrands, and quite honestly, it's impressive.
You have some active eyes in there.
So, you wish to gather the pieces of the armor for this personal endeavor? Or to stop the one wishing to gather them?
More for the latter.
If there's a way that we can get what we need without having to disrupt the balance down here, we will. And that's where we need your help. If there's some way that you can think of where we could... I mean, you know all about the servant. If there's a way that we could deal with this Cyrus entity in another way, if there's anything you know about him, we're basically just
the
trying...
only contact with Cyrus we would have is the Trademaster.
Trademaster.
Yes, Isaac Clay. We can take you to him.
Isaac. Sounds like a really cool guy.
He's a good worker.
Above board, because I stepped out for a second, have we told them exactly why Cyrus wants the armor, or these other potential? No?
No.
Okay. So we've just said that someone might want it, and...
We have a personal issue, related to it, and so we want to resolve that issue, but,
right.
We don't want to, cause waves down here, so how can we help each other, basically? Because, Cyrus is going to get someone else to do it if we don't.
Allow the two of us to continue discussion. Cyrus will be on the third... Sorry, not Cyrus. Isaac. I'm getting names confused. Isaac will be on the third floor.
Are we not telling them about the hunger threat for now, then? Is that?
I feel like we need to
I mean,
maybe learn more about that. Well, you asked the Tree Father, and he said it was. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if they know that we want it, is there... I mean, I don't know. They might know something about it, so... Maybe they've heard of it
That's true.
down
I'm
here.
hesitant to talk to him in the first place because, like, I don't want Cyrus to, you know, think that we're trying to double-cross him or something that way. Being as he seems to have spies all over the place.
Yeah.
Duker the Knoll walks over to us and says, "Follow me, we'll take you to Isaac."
Alright. Off to Isaac, the Trademaster. Ah, Bran. This will be your best friend.
Potentially. We'll see.
As you are led down, the two drow
customers.
continue a conversation in what you can assume to be undercommon, as they are speaking at one of the windowsills. And you were led down a lot less time this time, but to a third floor, which is more of a dungeon kind of esque than the rest of the place. And as you exit, Duker just kind of stands there. Just, "I'm not allowed on this floor. You continue without me."
Why aren't you allowed?
Told not to.
The Duergar or the Knoll?
The gnome.
Oh, okay.
Named Drugar.
The gnome named Duker.
Duke of the Druid.
Oh, okay. I was confused. Got it.
As you enter a capsule, much like a circular ring that surrounds the elevator, just closes. You find yourself in a relatively dark room. Moving forward, you see that this place is more like just messy furniture, nothing really organized. And as you come closer, you see that there is someone, a rather tall figure, standing at a desk, just writing something down.
Okay.
Hello
Say
again,
this,
gentlemen.
Write something down.
Hello?
Hello again, gentlemen?
You turn around, you find the face of Cyrus.
What the bloody heck are you doing down here?
Working on trade.
What?
Wait, so his name, they called him Isaac, right?
Indeed.
Okay, but he's down here and he looks still like Ivan, right?
He looks like Ivan, yes.
Okay. And he's working for them in trade.
I'm a man of many traits.
Yeah.
Alright. Well,
Hello, Cairo. Hi.
this accelerates our timeline of that conversation we were planning to have with you.